historic Hayward Field side of the 2018 NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. We are now joined by a two-person contingent from the University of Texas Longhorns. We are joined by John Burt. You'll see you in the 110 hurdles, and then coach for the Longhorns, Tanja Buford Bailey. Thank you so much for joining us. And John, obviously a lot of people are going to point to the fact that you're a two-sport star. If they watch college football, they would have saw the 90-yard completion you had earlier this year. And I want to ask you, coming into this season, what was the transition when you got done with all of your football responsibilities and were focusing solely on track? How did that transition go for you?
Yeah, it's been the same pretty much as been the past 3 years. Really getting in and focusing on my form and technique, because I haven't been working on that since the end of nationals last year. For the last 6 months of last year, I'm not doing any track at all. So really what me and coach really work on is working on my fundamentals, working on my technique, and kind of just getting back into the groove.
And Coach, it's a great opportunity when you have a football program willing to share talent, right? And that doesn't happen in every place. So how have you guys built that relationship? And it sounds like it's figuring out when to kind of flip the switch, let them be the football player, then let them be the track and field athletes. So how do you make it work at Texas?
Right. That was the first thing I was going to say, is how big of a commitment it is from Tom Herman and his staff to, have him come over, because there's still that transition between, you have spring ball and the spring game and all of those things going on. And, John, he's tough and he's resilient because, he still has his full commitment to football. He comes over with track. So again, thanks to those guys over there that make it happen for us. But yeah, the transition too is, he is a runner when he's playing football, but, there's the agility side and all the other things that he's doing that really is not related to running straight ahead and jumping over hurdles. So in the beginning, there is that transition of working on hip mobility and stuff like that. And then, of course, it's just a different level of fitness. I don't care, even as a track runner, if you're, there's hurdle fitness and then there's sprinting fitness, that I don't think people realize. So when you're not doing it constantly, there is a period of time that it takes for you to get yourself acclimated. And this year, I think we're 3 years into it with John, and he made the transition a lot better because I think he had a mindset for what he needed to do, and the transition happened a lot sooner. He was definitely more committed this year, worked a lot harder in practice. Not that he's not a hard worker, you can tell that from what he does on the field, but at the same time, it's just a maturity level to understand. I understand how many months behind I am. He's not the kind of guy that's gonna come out, oh, I'm fast, so I can just jump right in, So just him having that maturity level now to understand what it's really gonna take, and just his mindset and his motivation. I mean, he was so determined this year to be here and be in this position, not just to get to this meet, but be in a position where he could be a finalist and a scorer and, go for the win, because, that's who he is. I mean, his mindset this year has been totally different. So.
And John, one of many two-sport stars that have been able to come here to the NCAA meet and excel. And I want to ask you, when you get to your race, it seems like it's very, very technical. What are some of the aspects that you're really trying to focus in on as you get set for each and every race that you're in?
Yeah, so part of my technique, I'm 7 steps to the first hurdle. So what coach really has me focus on is really driving out, losing that extra step, going from 8 to 7. You really have to push so that you get in that rhythm the same way as if you were doing 8 steps. So that's really one of the main things I focus on. And then in between the hurdles, staying really short so that I can drive into the hurdle and be really quick in between. Those are just some of the things that, we really like to focus on in practice.
You guys might well serve as the de facto welcoming committee for next year's NCAA championships as we move down to Austin.
Very exciting.
So, give people a sense of what they're going to expect down there. Obviously, these 5 years in Eugene have provided a great opportunity to see this thing scale to a level I think every coach and athlete wants it to be. And now the belief that they can take that scale and take it to other places and do the same kind of thing. So what are we going to expect out of Austin, along with the good barbecue and the good music on 6th Street and all the other stuff that makes Austin Austin?
Yeah, I really like coming up here. I like the atmosphere. I like how green it is, the mild temperatures. What the athletes can expect is heat, obviously. I'll be the first to say it's been about 100 or even over 100 the past week and a half pretty much. So that's one of the things, that's the main thing you can expect up there.
You know, James Barr and his staff, our meet director, he does a very good job with Texas Relays and some of the other events that we have at Mike Myers Stadium. So they're going to be here, actually. They're going to come and do a site visit, which is great. But they're so good at what they do, and we have a great fan base in Texas. So it's going to be a great meet, and we're going to be ready.
And John, you seem like a very competitive young man here. What do you like to do outside of hurdles, outside of football? Something tells me that video games or maybe even ping pong or pool. What do you keep yourself busy with?
Yeah, shoes, like Coach said, shoes. I'm really big on shoes.
Nicest pair of shoes that you own. What's like your creme de la creme that goes in the glass case above the fireplace or in your office someday?
That's a hard question. I don't really have a lot of Jordans. I'm trying to get into Jordans. I have these nice pair of LeBron 15 collaboration they did with designer Kith.
Sure.
And so I have those, and if you ask anybody that knows me, those are like one of my favorite shoes. They're really high. They go pretty much halfway up my leg, but you know that's just my style. So I'd say I really like those shoes a lot.
Now, are you the type of sneaker collector that will actually wear the shoes, or do you just keep them in the closet?
No. I like to wear my shoes. They're made to be worn. You know, they're not made to just sit in a box. So, you know, if I get some shoes, I'm planning on wearing them.
That is what we'd like to see. Now, you mentioned the LeBrons. Did you see the, I think it was the suit shorts that he wore for the game the other night? Is that something you can pull off?
I don't know.
Y'all missing it. The most important part of that outfit was the man bag. Let's be real.
Yeah,
the man bag that cost a year of tuition, basically.
Was the most important part.
Yeah, I don't know if I can really pull it off. I like the shirt and the jacket, but I don't know if the shorts are really my style.
Well, it works for next year, 100 degrees in Texas.
Yeah, that is true. I'll see if I can pull something together.
All right, excellent. Well, both of you, thank you so much again for joining us. Stick around when we come back on Tracktown Live. We'll catch up with the Florida Gators.